Hello people, Mark here on Creating Your Digital Life. So today I wanted to discuss with you the topic of how to stay ahead of the curve and why you should be thinking one step ahead as opposed to your current situation. Also, why it's sometimes worth changing your tactics even though you're seeing results and you are actually generating some positive income, let's say, to think about the big picture and how to adapt your strategy and your development moving forward. So let's get into it. So essentially I was reading this blog earlier today, which was talking about how some of the major corporations like McDonald's and Apple changed their strategies in quite a contradictory way, because what they did was they were positioned strongly within, let's say, a certain market, but they still decided to go ahead and tear the structure down, rebuild in sight of the future to make sure that they always stay ahead of the competition. To illustrate that, McDonald's, for instance, had quite a popular restaurant. I think it was in Michigan, the writer was talking about. And despite of all the success that they had, McDonald's decided to shut that restaurant down, build a new one, and as a result, they were able to attract a greater audience and bring in more revenue, more reputation, etc. Now with Apple, it was actually quite surprising because I didn't know that this happened, that they essentially shut down the iPod mini, sorry for that, at the peak of its demand. So back in the early 2000s when it was rolling out, popularity was increasing for this kind of device, but despite of that, they decided to kill it off and introduced the iPod Nano. The reason behind this was very simple, because they wanted to decrease the price of the flash drive as opposed to a mechanical hard drive that was essentially creating a more fixed cost. So this way they would be able to stay more profitable and introduce the flash drive into more of their devices because of the decrease of the price that occurred with the iPod and the iPod Nano, essentially. So with that in mind, I wanted to share some of my personal experience as well, because what I'm doing at the moment is, as you can see, creating the videos, trying to focus on sharing information and creating a digital life that's going to serve me in the long run. But this is in the future, what's going to happen in the future. At the moment, I'm working within my regular 9-to-5 job, but I'm not standing still, and I want to adapt into the new circumstances that are coming, because the digital shift is coming. And people are going to be forced to be able to have a digital presence and sell themselves or the products that they have effectively to the audiences that they want to reach. Now, you may be thinking that obviously that's a choice and you can be doing this by yourself. But the thing is, if you're not developing and not thinking about the big picture, then you're essentially just standing still and not able to adapt to circumstances like the one back last year. Because what happens is people would be hit up with a crisis, they're not able to react to it effectively, and what happens is they are scrambling for the remainders of their savings and just trying to find a job that is able to cover the expenses, which obviously is necessary. But if you are always staying a step ahead of where you are, then you are always able to gain a competitive advantage and not get fixated on what the current circumstances have to offer, because you're always keeping in mind what the future and what the potential, let's say, skills or businesses that you're building are going to do for you in, let's say, a year or two. You never know, but if you keep doing it, you keep working on them, it's going to yield results. Obviously, they have to be of careful and informative decisions, because you need to make a judgment call based on, let's say, what kind of reserves you have, what kind of skills are required in terms of the venture you want to get into, and how you can make the best out of this. So essentially, that's what I wanted to share, and wanted to open your eyes to why you should be thinking about the big picture as opposed to just living in the present all the time, whether it comes to jobs, your personal life, or anything else. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to share down below. Until then, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.